Okay, partner.
We were on our way to the Krakharov volcano in Russia. While looking over what little information I had on the final member of the Fiendish Five, I began to notice something. In the 4 parts of the Thievius Raccoonus recovered so far, several of the pictures depict a shadowy owl-like figure, which looks very similar to the police images of the mysterious Clockwerk. Is this a strange coincidence, or is there something I'm missing?
Hey, Sly! The road to Clockwerk's fortress is blocked! Do me a favor and shoot out that lock for me, would you, pal? Whoa! Check out all those mines! Think you can blow them away and clear a safe path for us?
Bingo! My scanners indicate that Clockwerk is holed up in that owl-shaped tower.
First things first, we've got hostile robo-falcons at 12 o'clock, Sly!
That's no tower, it's a giant death ray! Sly, take out those rocks or we're in trouble!
turret to make it all the way through.
We've got to get through that security door on the far side of the cavern. The only way to unlock it is to analyze at least 60 of those hanging computers.
Would have been easy to get at them if Murray hadn't thrashed our new turret.
Yeah, won't be a problem. I can hack the computer's connection coupling so they'll fall to the ground. Then, Murray will have to run over them with the van.
Okay, and Murray, remember to use our new battering ram by hitting the square button if anyone tries to keep you from those computers.
Murray, there are only 119 computers up there. And these fire skunks seem intent on getting to them before us. The first one to 60 computers wins. Careful, Sly! Those tiles are booby-trapped! You better get out of there!
Hold on, that's Carmelita. She looks trapped.
Serves that cop right. She's been dogging us from the start.
It's just a misunderstanding. We've got to free her.
Are you crazy, Sly? Clockwerk probably stuck her there to trap you.
But if I don't do anything, Carmelita's doomed. Besides, stealing just won't be any fun without her.
Sly, your ridiculous raccoon logic sends shivers up my shell. But if you're determined to go through with this, that barrel will undoubtedly help, though I have no idea how you'll get up there.
Dude, a spire jump here, a rail slide there. I've done this a million times.
Sly Cooper? I should have known you were behind this.
You got me wrong, Miss Fox. I'm here to rescue you.
You sentimental fool. Empathy has always been the downfall of the Cooper clan.
I knew this was a trap. Looks like I'm going to have to do some fast and furious hacking to shut down that gas before Sly's brain is turned to cheese. Haven't had to do this in a while. Okay, I used the left analog stick to steer and the right analog stick to unleash my hacker code. Those green data packets need to be destroyed if I'm going to get at the yellow security code. Uh-oh. It looks like I triggered one of Clockwerk's security algorithms. Stay sharp, veteran.
Sly, I was wrong about you. Break me out of this force field by smashing its base, and I'll make it up to you somehow. I don't get it, Cooper. I've hunted you for years, tried to throw you behind bars, but when you get a chance to leave me in a cage, you set me free. Why?
Carmelita, we may be on opposite sides of the law, but you're not my enemy. Now, the homicidal robotic owl that built this death ray and nearly gassed us to death, that guy's on my list.
I see your point. All right. Until Clockwerk and his evil schemes are destroyed, I suggest we work together.
Together at last. Huh, wait. I need that cane. It's been in my family for generations.
Don't worry, Ringtail. I'll cover you while you get it back. If you can. Make your way to the top of the death ring. I stashed my jetpack there before Clockwerk nabbed me.
Now that we're a team and all, I need to leave your side.
Hold on. This truce is only temporary. Once we beat Clockwerk, I'm coming after you.
Really?
Well, maybe I'll give you a 10-second head start. Nice job, Raccoon.
Where's Carmelita's jetpack? Right where she said it would be. The magnetronic support field for the death ray got destroyed as you were making a run for your cane. You'd better hurry. This whole thing is about to fall apart.
I'm on it.
It's sinking fast! Climb, Sly, climb!
Sly Cooper, you have escaped my gas chamber and destroyed my death ray. Remarkable. You Coopers always find a way to beat me.
Always? So that was you in the background of all those old pictures in the previous raccoons. How old are you?
Perfection has no age.
What? You're immortal?
Revenge is the prime ingredient in the fountain of youth. I've kept myself alive for hundreds of years with a steady diet of jealousy and hate, awaiting a day when I would finally eclipse your family's thieving reputation.
Sly! My missiles don't hurt him but seem to create holes in his armor. Shoot into the gaps I create!
So familiar with my family, you must have known my father had a son. If you hated the Coopers so much, why did you let me live when you stole the Thievius Raccoonus?
Because I wanted to show the world that without your precious book, the Cooper line was nothing.
Ah, well, there's where you're wrong. The Thievius Raccoonus doesn't create great thieves. It takes great thieves to create the Thievius Raccoonus.
Enough, Sly Cooper. It ends here. I will finish you like I finished your father. And the Cooper line will be erased, and the only master thief will be Clockwerk. You can't dodge me forever. My intellect is refined. My experience is greater. I am. 7. Flowers. Melody. Lay. Feet together. You're the weakest Cooper I've yet You cannot escape me. My intellect is refined. My experience is greater. My intellect is refined. My experience is greater. My You're the weakest Cooper I've yet encountered. You cannot escape me. You can't dodge me forever. I am. 7. Flowers. Attitude. Lay. My skills are superior. You cannot escape me. I am. 7. Flowers. Attitude. Lay. Feet together. I will live. Immortal. You will never be rid of me. Clockwerk is superior.
It took some tricky maneuvering, but I managed to snatch that last piece of the Thievius Raccoonus from Clockwerk's claw. I had taken down each member of the Fiendish Five: Raleigh, Mugshot, Ms. Ruby, the Panda King, and finally Clockwerk. I'd beaten them all one by one and reclaimed my birthright. Of course, there was no way I could have gotten here without the help of my pals. I know this hasn't been easy for them, yet they stuck with me through it all. Murray, boy, It took a lot of guts for him to get out in the field with me. I know he was scared, but he's got more heart than anyone I've ever known. And thank goodness for Bentley. Without his expertise, I'd have never found my way off that rooftop in Paris. A guy couldn't ask for a better gang of friends. Who could ever forget the lovely Carmelita? Looks like we're not going to be friends anymore. Now that Clockwerk's death ray is out of commission, we're back to playing cops and robbers. I thought for sure she was going to slap the handcuffs on me right then and there. But instead, she was true to her word and gave me that 10-second head start. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I felt bad leaving her stranded on that giant rock, but I knew it wouldn't be long before we'd see each other again.
I hate to tell you this, Sly, but the Thievius Raccoonus isn't fully restored. You're gonna have to go back and unlock all the vaults to find the pages you're missing. There is some good news, though. A friend of mine in Japan just sent me this really cool movie. And guess what? It's all about us!
いやー危なかった。ま、カルマリータちゃんには悪いけど、今回も俺様たちの勝ちだ。このデータファイルがあれば父ちゃんの仇が撃てる。あれはまだ俺が子供の頃だ。よく父ちゃんの膝の上で遊んでたっけ。俺様の一族は代々伝わる義族の家系。そして受け継がれた技をまとめたのがこのラクーナの秘伝書。その洗練を極めた忍びの技だが、そこには必ず守らなければいけない厳しい掟があった。義族たる者、名誉にかけて狙うは悪党のみ、善人からは奪わない。ところが俺様が秘伝書を受け継ぐことになった夜、突然5人のギャングがやってきた。奴らは俺を守ろうとした父ちゃんを、そしてとうとう見つけ出してしまったんだ。大切なラクーナの秘伝書を。奴らは俺様の全てを奪いやがった。きっと中に書かれた技を使って悪いことをしでかすに違いねえ。そして俺様は一人ぼっち町の孤児院に入った。だがここで素晴らしい仲間に出会ったんだ。天才発明家、頼れる相棒ベントレー、そしてマーレ。 食いしん坊でちょっとドジだが、まあ憎めない弟分さ。仲間と一緒に俺様は父ちゃんの仇を討ち、そして秘伝書を取り返す。クーパーの名前に恥じない義族になれるか、それとも失敗してご先祖の顔に泥を塗るのか。さあ、俺様たちの運命はどっちだ。
At long last, the Thievius Raccoonus restored to its original state. The first time I held the whole thing under my arm since I was 8 years old. The same weight that all my ancestors had felt beneath their arms as they had passed it on. Although, while other family members may have been great thieves, they all inherited the book. I got a chance to earn it. I had taken down the Fiendish Five, having used the moves my ancestors taught me, and become a master thief along the way. The time had come for me to chronicle my own adventures into the great book. This is going to be fun.
You've done it, Sly! The Thievius Raccoonus is complete! Now, try beating all the Master Thief sprints to unlock the designer's commentary. Once you've unlocked them all, I've got a special behind-the-scenes movie to show you. Excellent, Sly! You've beaten all the Master Thief sprints and unlocked all the designer's commentary. Check out this fascinating behind-the-scenes movie.
How should I describe Sly Cooper? He's charismatic, suave, debonair,
cool, slick, fast, stealthy, athletic, he's a daredevil.
Sly Cooper is charming thievery. We started with the idea that we wanted to do an action game where the primary character was a thief. The choice of a raccoon was a pretty natural fit in terms of, you know, obviously the mask being in place, being, as Dev would say, a creature of the night.
We very early on wanted to make a game that looked and felt like a cartoon, but was one step closer to realism rather than flat and graphic. We started experimenting with different ways we could bring this character to life, cell shading, how to make it feel like a cartoon but still feel like a great 3D game.
We want it to actually look like it was inked and painted, and we want the backgrounds to be, you know, really lush and have a painted look, so it looks like it's a living animated episode that you've been thrown into.
When you look at the game, initially, the first thing that draws you in is the beautiful art style and lush, very, very lush look of the environments. But when you actually play the gameplay itself is lush as well.
The original conception of the Sly character was a much more realistic raccoon, chubby and not quite as lithe as the character is now, and it kind of evolved as we went along.
Once we got to that part where he kind of evolved into what he is now, my main job was to take him and try to put every bit of thiefiness into him that I could. He was kind of tiptoeing, and he's really like rearing back to like ease his foot forward, trying to keep all his weight back so his foot falls softly on the ground, and really try to hone his personality through subtleties in the movement and really try to push the thiefiness.
As we wanted Sly to feel really agile, we wanted him to feel like Sly could do the most amazing physical feats. You want to let the player of the game feel like they're a thief. Not like a real thief, like you wish thieves were.
Sly Cooper's story is really cool. He comes from a long line of super raccoon thieves. And the source of their kind of thieving greatness is this book called The Thievius Raccoonus. It's this incredibly valuable heirloom that is stolen from Sly's family when he's very young.
He has come of age, and now he feels it's his noble duty to take back the Thievius Raccoonus.
Sly has two buddies, Bentley and Murray. Bentley provides a lot of the plans for their missions. He does a lot of things that are very important for Sly to complete his missions. Murray has a huge case of Sly envy. He wants to be Sly in the worst possible way, and he has absolutely none of the capabilities to do it.
A hero's only as good as his villains. We wanted to create villains, you know, making them dangerous, making them menacing, making them goofy. Just giving them as much personality as Sly Cooper.
It's a super high bar being in the action-adventure category. I mean, all of the greatest games, the best games that are out there are all action-adventures.
The genre is such that you have to really excel in every single phase of the game. Going from saying Sly should be sneaky to actually having him feel sneaky in the game is hard. You have to start and you have to get the animation right, then you have to figure out how the engine's going to play the animation and how it gets affected by where he is and what he's doing and how the player can feel in control at the same time.
People are doing shoot-'em-ups and things with, you know, big weapons and things like that, and this is all about character, so you can get the feeling of, you know, I am Sly and I'm sneaking around. Anytime we can exploit anything in the environment, build it in a way that, you know, as Sly's running over, it might seem more stealthy. We completely exploit that.
And our golden rule is whatever is thiefier wins. If you want to make a game that looks different, the PS2 gives you the opportunity to do that.
As a programmer, it has a ton of tools for solving all sorts of different types of technical problems.
A big focus for us has been in getting our tool set to the point where the artists were really unconstrained.
Artists will come to us with, they want the game to look this way, or boy, can we have a line around all the characters, the cell shading that we do, or how can we do the lighting models so that things that are bright have certain colors on them. And they have a lot of really cool ideas, and I and the other people on the programming team work on trying to get the technology put in place so that we can, you know, make those ideas happen.
What we were able to do was put together our own lighting algorithm in vector units and then do the same thing for the cell borders that we put around all our characters. We could get it to all run super fast and have it all look different than other games. That was really our goal from the start, was to have a game which looked different.
It's been an interesting process building a team to build a game like this.
It's been great working with such a dedicated group of people. I've never really ever worked with a group I think as hardcore as this.
It really does require unbelievably talented artists, unbelievably talented programmers, and unbelievably talented designers.
How you doing?
The designers, I think, have done a wonderful job of giving players the experience of sneaking and being a thief, and at the same time making the designs accessible to people so that you don't need to be a super gamer in order to play it, although there are tons of things that are in the game for those people.
We're making a game that anyone can play.
You can't just have great art, you can't just have great code, you can't just have great characters, you gotta have it all.
It's not about just how the game looks, it's about how the game plays and how the player experiences it, and it's all about having fun.
You can make a really cool character, but if he's not fun to play, it's not worth doing.
Sly is cool, he's collected, he's adventurous.
Sly is Sly. It is not a misnomer.
This level is in many ways, in my opinion, the most sort of evolved from the standpoint of gameplay mechanics in the game. We do some really crazy things with the camera, like when you're sneaking around the edge and the icicles are falling at you, where we've constrained the player to a simple decision-making process, being left or right with the danger coming down on them. But because they're so constrained, you can do totally whack things with the camera and give you this image that you don't normally see in video games as a result. It's more cinematic, and it helps highlight the danger in the case of this level from the guards looking down on you when you sneak around the guard tower or the falling icicles. It's a nice change of pace from just having the top-down playable camera all the time.
You get a bizarre perspective.
Let me ask you this. Okay, so we were recording the voices for the game.
Yes.
And how weird is it to get the script? And the game it's kind of interesting to note that we are not trying to make a cartoon with the voices. Everybody's supposed to be pretty straight-laced. And you're one of the weirder voices in the game with your blah, blah, blah. But a lot of people are very, very dry, not hammy at all.
Sly Cooper.
Sly Cooper, if he was hammy, we would be in big trouble. But he takes it all seriously. How hard is it to take it seriously or even understand what's going on from the script?
Well, I would say it's actually pretty simple. The idea is that you get a character and you figure out what this character sounds like and what who they are and what they want without sounding too ridiculous. This is what it is. And you just say the lines like the character would say them. And fortunately, the lines are not too difficult to manage. A lot of them are, wow, press the circle button and you'll jump. And so it's pretty self-explanatory what you need to say, what you need to do. When you get into the crazier stuff about, I think on the other level about, she's making a disgusting soup out of guts and bones. It's just a matter of just going along with the lines and trying to be scared.
Yeah, but I mean, how do you, I don't think you can really use like Stanislavski method when you're trying to picture yourself as a turtle freaked out by a voodoo creation soup.
Well, it's all just the magic of make-believe.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I mean, well, you say these lines too if you're writing them or reading them yourself. You say them and you know exactly what you're trying to get across. And the job of the actor, and I use that term loosely in my regard, is just to try and make sure that everything makes sense that's coming out of your mouth.
This level was started mostly just like the kind of the opening shot where you're coming out of the cave and you really see this big temple. It was pretty early in the design of the level where I wanted to kind of have this, you know, kind of picturesque moment here, and also be able to see your end goal from the entrance as well. This is one of the more, I guess we call it pretzeled levels, where the course is very much kind of going around itself. It's kind of using this one art space for the different game mechanics. So instead of having a long corridor that has all the mechanics and we have to do art all the way down that corridor or whatever, we take it in one space. In this case, we go outside the temple, we go inside the temple, and then we go across, and you're still able to see the temple when you finish the game, and it's kind of, you're looking down on it. So it's really trying to reuse the art assets by staying in the same space as you're going through the level. This is another one of our earlier uses where we're going to a more extreme camera angle for dramatic effect when you're going into the temple and you have the snow falling away down the cliffs as you go, just for added drama. And we know exactly what you're going to be doing because the gameplay is constrained to that curve that's kind of hugging the cliff wall here. So we know it's safe to take the camera up into a more extreme position than the typical gameplay camera.
I love in general the kind of circuitous route through this whole level. The fact that you get through one area and then slide down to another and then sidle over across cliff face over to another, and etc. There's kind of an interesting route through the whole level. I like the firework platforms too. Those are a great idea.
I think this was the first use of this use of lasers where it's really close. It's just close to the ground. It's not like sweeping across the whole hallway. It's creating this, this dynamically changing play area that when you first come up to it, it's like, oh, it's fairly intimidating because you see the glow on the ground. You see it's like this, it's constantly changing, but they're actually pretty easy to play. So it's kind of making things, for more inexperienced players, having them see a moment where it looks very dangerous and them getting through it successfully is something that it's good because it gives them a sense of accomplishment. So that's the reason why it's just kind of this cool thing that's actually fairly easy to play through. And once this one was put in the game, there's several other areas where we decided that we could use this and change the speeds and change the sweep patterns to give it a different feel. And to really, just make it faster makes the difficulty harder. So you can definitely dial it up to be challenging. But in this case, it was set up for one of the earlier levels, so it's pretty straightforward actually.
So Andrew, you modeled out this level?
Yes, another level that you designed.
What do you like about this world?
Let's see.
Or level, I should say.
What do I like about it? I like, there's something great about the space. There, the fact that it's taking place, very quickly inside and then outside of these tall, narrow buildings, and that they form both the kind of foreground, sometimes the surroundings, and then actually the background, kind of the sideshow, the thing that you're looking at in the distance. So you're constantly seeing places that you've been before in the level from a distance, from a different vantage point, and I think that gives you this sense of continuous world more than some of the other ones maybe.
That was definitely a goal with a lot of these snow levels, was to give you that inside-outside feeling. Right. And this level starts with something that we thought was going to be really difficult for players, which was you get up to this door and it's locked, and there's no way to open it. And there are 2 open windows that you can go in, and it's pretty easy to overcome. This level was actually made before the Paris level, but we had to test it and have people experience the frustration not being able to get through the door to know if it was gonna be okay or if it was gonna be too aggravating to include in the game. But that is a seriously simple mechanic that seems to reflect sort of breaking and entering. Right. And the whole level is like that. You're going in, you're going out, you're on top of roofs.
Always entering through windows, doors.
This level has a really bizarro laser grid on the floor.
Right.
And it's bizarro because there isn't a discernible pattern how you're supposed to go through it.
Right.
You look at it and you think, okay, if I study this long enough, I'll see that I need to go left, left, right, left.
Right.
But really, there's none of that. You can stare at it for 45 minutes and you won't see the same thing again because it's all just slightly out of cadence with each other.
Yeah.
So you have to, right off, you just have to make it up as you go along.
And once you get into the middle of it, it's pretty. I mean, there's, if you're really paying attention, there's enough time to adjust to what's going on. But it's great because you've got everything out of phase enough that it feels very almost random. One thing about this level too, this is maybe one of the cases where we learned a little bit about not having the level designers model out quite as much of the actual terrain or the walls and things like that. So the buildings initially in this were fairly tightly modeled, and the gameplay was fairly tightly constrained to the buildings, and they were initially fairly straight, like a lot of the stuff is that we get after after level design has been through it. And so making it kind of funky and unusual was a little bit of a challenge.
I kind of use the fireworks in this level as kind of gating mechanisms to keep you kind of dodging and running from Carmelita while you're playing.
Right.
And also just to have bigger kind of these big events during the game.
Just from texturing it, I know like on the mug shot where she's shooting at you, the colors were reversed of this. Like in this one, Sly Cooper's path is all cool, and where Carmelita's jumping around is where we kept the warm colors. But in the mugshot one, it's kind of reversed, where Sly's running on the warm path and she's jumping on the cool buildings.
Yeah, doing her effect was kind of funny. She originally had a different, entirely different weapon, and we really wanted to kind of emphasize this stun gun feel, and it was interesting to try and tune because the color tones of the world in general were, she appears in several places, and so I was finding something that had a little bit of, it has this icy color, but also this sort of orange center to it, and that seemed to work best across the different levels.
So was it your idea always to have it? Do you have other ideas besides that dragon, or was it?
After I changed from the Buddha one, it was. I think Devin was the one that mentioned trying to see if we could do a dragon for it, and then which was good because for a Chinese dragon, you have that great shape that you could fold. I was able to fold it and shape it how I needed it for where she's going to stand on and stuff like that. And then you put in all the legs and everything like that.
Yeah, so they're we're trying to think of places on the dragon, on the high and low points of the humps of the dragon, and then also there are these kind of freestanding poles in the abyss of the mist that you can see down there. That just having her stand in as many different places as possible made her feel really like she was sort of part of the world, but always just out of reach.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a big thing. You have to keep her on screen.
Right.
Keep her large enough to see her, and at the same time make it seem like you could never get to her.
Right.
So the
you're
closest
not tempted to leap off the path to your death or something like that.
One of the first drafts I did of it had a giant panda Buddha statue laying on his side where she was jumping on. It just wasn't the same. So I'm glad we went with the golden dragon.
Never got to see that one.
I tried to keep it away from people. It wasn't very good.